Good morning and welcome to the Pulse of Nigerian Politics right here on Morning Pulse. My name is Sharon Endemchuku and I'm not doing this alone. I'm joined in the studio as usual by my beautiful, amazing co-host in person of Ifoma Oji. How are you doing?
Thank you.
You look divine. You look like something out of a movie.
Thank you so much for the compliment.
You look good. Welcome.
Oh, and you look alluring.
Oh, thank you. I'm also joined by our comrade in person of Mr. Daniel Sacramento. Sure, sir. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, sir.
How are you
always
doing,
dripping.
You are
Am I dripping? Like what?
Always dripping.
You're looking.
I mean.
Oh, he doesn't understand the slang. That means you look good. You look.
I don't understand.
Sorry, sir. All right, we're also joined via Zoom in person of our analyst, Mr. Oladimiji Oluwafemi. How are you doing, sir? Good morning. Mr. Oladimiji, can you hear me? Okay, we can't hear you in the studio, but we hope to do so as we progress. Let's go straight to the stories that we have for today. So we have quite a lot, and I'm going to be starting from the top. Now, we have two very crazy stories that are rocking our shores. Niger Delta youth leaders are publicly rejecting protests and throwing support behind the controversial reform agenda led by the NNPC boss in person of Engineer Bayo Ojulari. But up north, the elders are demanding the declaration of a state of emergency amid escalating insecurity in the north. Now, what does this tell us about regional tensions, leadership, and Nigeria's future? As if that's not all, we'll also be touching briefly on the constitution review that was held in Owerri on Wednesday. Now, let's start from the call for state of emergency in the north by the northern elders over there. And I have just one question, and I'm going to go straight to it. Comparing it to the state of emergency that was declared in Rivers State and to this certain call now for a state of emergency in the north because of the insecurity and the loss of death that has been ongoing, the abductions and the kidnapping that has been ongoing. Do you think that that is basis enough, that is reasonable enough in order to declare a state of emergency in the north?
Well, the northern, that's a northeast has been in a very terrible situation since 2009 when the Boko Haram insurgents started. And from there, he graduated to ISWAP. And from ISWAP, he graduated to banditry. And from banditry, he's now transited to terrorism.
Yes.
And successively, Jonathan met it, Buhari met it, and now it has because the present governor says it's going to continue from when Buhari stopped. So the insecurity became a very it became a norm, became a pattern. Now we are now living with it. Like I said in some of our past editions, you see, northern elders, I don't know if they're just waking up. This is not just about the north. The whole regions ought to come together and part a chatway. The people who understands, there are experts about this insecurity who can provide solutions.
Yes.
There are military heads who understand this thing, who could provide solutions. As far as I'm concerned, majority of the northern elders that are coming in are all involved in this matter. They are. These people are not monsters that came from sky. These are people's children. They know them. They gave birth to these boys. They know their father, they know their mother. Then let's talk about some of the imports that came from Libya, that came from Mali, that came from Kenya, Al-Shabaab and all these things, you know, that are all where all these things, you know, they came into Nigeria. And the security agencies are mounted in the borders, at the borders. But we still have insurgents of the influx of these terrorists that are all infiltrating into Nigeria? Because our borders are porous. Now, the first thing I think the government should do, the northern elders, is to tell themselves the gospel truth. The Bible says that the truth you know is what will set you free. So they need to tell themselves the truth first. We don't want this anymore. It has to be a collective response, an agreement. It is not some quarters of people who are not being favored with one thing or the other. No, it has to be a holistic approach where everybody is going to come together and say, of a truth, we no longer want this. Enough is enough. Now, when you want to start tackling it, you will not tackle not just from the stem. You go down to the board to know how to uproot it and and make a change. But the northern elders, well, they have come out to say what they want to say.
The state of
emergency. But they know the truth.
All right, so you just said something. I want to ask him a question and then come to you. So you just made mention of the fact that the state of emergency. So you are buying into the idea. But, we have, this is not just happening in Kaduna or just one northern state. Now, do you think that the Nigerian army has that manpower to be able to call for a state of emergency in the majority of these northern states that are going through this crisis? Let's say Kaduna, Borno, the rest of them, Plateau, at a time. Let me tell you, we have the boys to do this job. Two things. Okay. When you don't fund people rightly, true, the act of me risking my life becomes reduced. When I have no vision that even if I lose my life, that my family is going to be taken well care of, I would not want to stick my head to it. Right. The truth about it is that the executives have not come out to tackle this insecurity head on. That you're providing basic, what's it called? You're providing security apparatus. Is it ghosts that are going to operate it? Are they not human beings? Now you are not paying these guys who are doing these dangerous jobs. They don't even know what their next meal is going to look like. Then you want them to go and stick out their name. Insecurity will still continue. That is the truth. Despite of the state of emergency. I just answered that and also contribute to the fact that, we've seen different killings in different places at mosque, in Kaduna, in Plateau. Now, do you now think that even if we call for this state of emergency, just to add to what he said, that we call for this state of emergency, that we'll be able to tackle this for the long run?
Okay, I'm just going to tie everything together. So I think this situation or this crisis of insecurity in the north has eaten too deep into the economy in general. Because even World Bank has declared that if they want that if these insecurities continue in the north, that the other states risk food shortage. Yes, you understand? So you could see that it's not just in the north. Was it not yesterday that I was watching a video of a particular region in the north that bandits, armed men, came to their community and they were taking selfies. The people in the community were taking selfie with them.
With the bandits.
You could see
celebrity bandits.
Under duress.
You can see that. But the thing here, what I was seeing is communities that have lost hope in the government. Community that have resorted to sorting their own issues themselves. Community that is no longer looking up to the president, or rather the governor, who is the chief security of the state. They are now doing, trying to resort issues themselves. If it means shaking hands with these people, let us shake hands. Let us eat together with these people. And it's quite sad. It is terrible that we're experiencing this, that people cannot even go to their farms and expect that they will come back whole. It is quite sad. I mean, if this thing, like I said before, the World Bank warned that if it continues, food shortage, and not just that, Mr. Sacramento mentioned something about declaring state of emergency. This state of emergency, I think, it's actually these northern regions that need this state of emergency the most, because I don't really see a reason whereby a president of Nigeria will be declaring state of emergency in a state whereby two prominent persons are having disagreements or disputes between themselves. It does not make sense. There are core issues that he's supposed to tackle. These are the things we are talking about now. And I'm not even I don't really care about if the people in the north, the officials in the north, are part of this, but for the fact that they've come out to seek for this state of emergency, I think they should be heard, and not just seeking state of emergency. If this should be if the president should actually throw in his weight, what is the possibility that this will actually be implemented? Because I don't want it to be normal headlines every single time. Will it be implemented, and will it be well funded? Just like what he said, you can't send people out in the field to risk their lives without them knowing fully well that their families will be well compensated. This thing has really eaten too deep. I'm just talking about the security personnel that you're sending into the field. What about the people that are in that state that their lives, their livelihood, their source of livelihoods had been cut short? And not just that, a lot of them are displaced. They are leaving their states. It is quite sad. And something has to be done about it.
At the end of the day, there is no country that can succeed where there's insecurity. But Mr. Oladimeji, coming to you, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
All right. Okay, so the president at TCAD 9 claimed that Nigerian army can win any war. And the same Nigerian army is what some of these northern elders have come to say, that they are overstretched, under-resourced, and complicit, in the sense that even during some of these attacks, they're quiet. They've been quiet during some of these attacks. But what are your thoughts? This army that the president says can win any war, but we are still battling with insecurity in the northern region and other regions in the country.
Let us remember that we are in a democracy, and that the president is the grand commander of the armed forces. And instructions are taken directly from the desk of the president. So we can't drop the bulk of this situation on the desk of the military. The military is as good as the policy that drives security architecture in this country. And we've been having worsening situations around our military apparatus since the APC took over power in 2020. Since Jonathan, yes, I can't really speak categorically of how genuine our state of insecurity was before 2015, because there were so many propaganda that went out there.
Yes.
But then it started under Buhari and it became a thing. All right? Comrades Sacramento said some time ago that, was it Comrades? No, I'm not sure, but I heard it somewhere in an engagement, that this insecurity we are having today was, enabled by political players, who wanted power at all costs. That's a conversation for another day. But ideally, our military can stand any challenge, any day, any time. In fact, I think we've had that kind of conversation on this platform before, when we discussed how, strong, how versatile our military works. We used to have ECOMOG. We used to go, into peacekeeping all around Africa, even outside Africa. AEC, we were there. Even our Nigerian police force were in AEC. Imagine. So we have a strong military architecture. But the problem is the saboteurs in this architecture. The saboteurs that collude, that corroborate with some players to make sure that this state of insecurity do not stop. Make no mistake, some people are making huge money from the state of insecurity in the north. And if he said it rightly, it don't just start. IMF is warning against something that has started long ago. The state of insecurity has caused consumable goods to skyrocket in price, all because goods are, these perishable goods, these farm produce are not coming from the north because of the state of insecurity currently prevailing in the north. And we have our military men dying every day because of the saboteurs in the system. So if anything must happen at all, it is not the fault of, the solution is not with the military. The solution is with the government of the day.
Right.
The government of the day decides today to have a turnaround and have genuinely be interested in solving our security problem. Within 24 hours, we'll solve it. After all,
within 24 hours.
Abata said it that it starts beyond 24 hours. Ask the government involved.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Oladimiji. We are still getting people's different perspectives on the matter, but just what if? What if the state of emergency is called and it's, instead of fixing the issue, it's skyrockets it and makes it worse, and somehow they're able to infiltrate that well-meaning decision to call a state of emergency, and it just turns into a complete chaos? Do you think there's a possibility or a chance of that happening?
Well, it might not happen because, like I said, why it wouldn't happen is that it shouldn't be a section of northern elders that would be championing state of emergency.
Okay.
It has to be a holistic approach. It has to be everybody involved. They have to collaborate with everybody, the councillor, the president generals, the traditional rulers, every state actors and the right set of people.
Okay.
They need to sit down on a round table, to part a chat with, not just declaring, asking for a state of emergency.
Yes.
State of emergency is, what we're saying is to militarize the whole north.
Yes.
That's what it entails, to militarize the whole and place a curfew in the whole region.
Yeah.
Would that solve the problem? No. We need a lot of intelligence. This is where the intelligence has to come. This is where the executive has to have a high level of commitment.
Okay.
A high level of commitment. This shouldn't be a paperwork. It should be reality. Funds should be released to the right sets of people.
Yes.
The right sets of military hardware should be deployed to all the places. And there should be a high level of intelligence working with the DSS and the DMI, gathering informations to send the right set of people so that the infantry can easily move in, the Air Force can move in, and the naval forces, they know the right places to go to. It took England that came here to rescue one man, the British. It took them some few hours to enter into the conclave where these people are and rescue their person.
Yes.
So there should be a level of intelligence sharing, so that the right set of things would apprehend this right set of people. Because as it stands, these things is expanding. Act of terrorism is expanding. Before it was Adamawa, Yola, and it was Adamawa, it was Yobe, and Borno is fake. That was where the whole thing was before. It now left there. And is in Sokoto. Now is in Kaduna, now is in Kanu. These are the three. Well, before you know it, it now entered Zamfara and Katsina State, which is a very high, densely populated place.
It's spreading like cancer.
And now it's now widespread, because the more you eliminate these people, another set comes up. So these are things they need to do. It has to be a holistic.
Just like,
and also to add to that, in 2 minutes, so we move to the next story. How sustainable do you think, and how effective do you think foreign intervention would be in this situation? Because I know that we've tried to have foreign intervention in the past. It did not go too well. But do you think now that foreign intervention is advised?
It's as if you read my mind.
Okay.
Because I wanted to add to what Mr. Sacramento said, because I mean, just like what he said earlier, he said that one man was actually kidnapped, and these people sent troops from their country
British,
to you know, fish out where this man was actually captured. So I'm like, I think at this point we have to like engage with these people, the UN, the AU, you understand? Let them come in into the, you know, the situation, because I know they have the technical what's it called, the machineries and the know-how. So I think if they come in, and if Nigeria keep and maintain the relationship with them, it shouldn't go sour. I think they should, you know, nip this insecurity. Yeah.
All right, just to get Mr. Oladimiji's perspective in 1 minute, do you think that foreign intervention should be advised in this period?
I have never been a proponent of seeking help from abroad for my domestic solution, for my domestic problem. Look, if the English mercenaries that were sent to rescue the English guy that was adopted in the north would do it within hours. These are strangers who do not know the topology of our forest. They do not understand the schematics of this jungle.
Yes.
But they came, they did what they had to do, and they had success, and they left within hours, not days. But we are indigenous, we have indigenous military. We cannot do, you know, a sweep at once and solve this problem. Why do you think it is so? It is a political problem. I want to emphasize this categorically. It's a political problem. They know these guys, they know their names, they know the sponsors. In fact, the government has come out to tell us, we have a list of the sponsors. UAE sent a list of sponsors. What have we done to this list? What have we done to these persons on the list?
Yes.
We know the forest, we know where they are. Were these soldiers who came from England, were they not assisted by Nigerian local security personnel?
They were.
Did they just come, did they just go by themselves? They did all of this with the help of Nigerian military men, but because there was the political will to go rescue our citizens. That's what they came to do, and they did it fine. But in Nigeria, our military is handicapped.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oladimiji. At this point, what I'm hearing from everybody on the table is the fact that we have the capability to end or put an end to insecurity.
We don't have, we should employ.
No, it's not as though we don't even have. It's just what I'm hearing is we need to get the go-ahead. They just need the information. They know where these people are. They know their hideout. They have this information. Because to be honest, who provided this information to the British that came to rescue that man that was kidnapped? It was still Nigeria. At the end of the day, but yes, thank you for that.
But they didn't allow them to join them in the operation.
No.
They just give us information.
Just information. That's what I'm saying. Nigeria has the information, so it's not as though they don't know where these things are. But we're going to move on to the next story. So the Niger Delta youths have come to counterattack the protest that was held in Abuja against the NNPC boss in person of Engineer Bayo Ojulari. And for this very matter, it's quite interesting because they accused the person who was in charge of this, that's Jonathan Lukpo-Biri, for allowing himself to be bribed in order to fight against the engineer in person of Bayo Ojulari. They also said, listed some of the reasons why they wanted Bayo Ojulari to retain his position. They alleged that he was able to remit over 20 trillion naira. We don't know how sure that is to the federal government within 4 months. They also mentioned the one that we know about, increasing the oil production from 1.3 million barrel per day to 1.8 million barrel per day. So apart from that, they also said that they have not seen a situation where the GMD of NNPC will be giving them a monthly report on their revenues, and they said that this is new for them and they're encouraging transparency. Now, I wanted to ask, with the 1.2 to 1.8 NBPD, I mean, what does this now say? 2 questions really. What does this now say about the Niger Delta economy and the country at large? Is this, of course, it's an improvement, but is this sustainable? That's one. And another is, the reforms that Bayo Ojulari is trying to inculcate into the NNPC, why does it seem as though he's having a lot of friction with the people that are there? It's as though there's a lot of resistance coming from within. I don't know, but since he came into power, there was a time where he resigned, he came back again, and now this protest, and it's not as though it's a unified stance that they're saying, oh, this man is bad, he has done this, he has done that. It's as though it's one of those cases where Mr. Daniel will talk about somebody wanted to do something and they're dragging him down. But let me take your perspective, Ifoma, and then take Mr. Daniel.
What's going on in Niger Delta is basically the youths there are divided. They have divided mindsets. But what I can't seem to, understand or say is, I don't know the group that is kind of being truthful with their protest. I don't know if it is the group that wants the man to resign or the group that wants him retained. I don't know the particular group, but I feel like all these things are just propagandas and it's politics that, I mean, these people might actually be paid to, protest. Okay,
the both of them.
Yes, they might be there. So I think at this point we need to maybe hear from other persons, set of persons in the community to determine their own stand, or determine the situation of things. Because if you're saying from 1.2
1.3 MBPD to 1.8.
No, it was actually 1.2 that I saw, though. 1.2 oil the barrel to 1.8, and now it's reduced, because according to what you said earlier before we came we went live, that it reduced again. I think that amount, I think it's not really the margin, it's not really that much, though it improved, but
in 4 months.
Yes.
Okay.
It didn't really improve that much. I think we expect more. But if that is true, we actually accord him some, what's it called? Is it congratulations or accolades or anything like that? Like, if he's doing well, he should do more, if that is true. But at this point, I can't decipher the particular set of group that is actually being, truthful in this case.
All right. Mr. Daniel, over to you. What are your thoughts?
Well, I said that yesterday here. I told you, as far as I'm concerned, Bayo Ojulari is a victim of circumstance. And you rightly said something that I keep on telling you. Whenever you come into a system, you want to change some certain things, the system will fight you. And how do I mean the system fighting you? The people who have turned themselves into principalities and power would always fight back, because they know that you are stopping where they make money, source of their stupid livelihood from, which they don't even care. You remember when Dora Quinley came on board to stop the menace of fake drugs? She was fought. She was even shot.
Yes.
At that point,
They even said Yaradua was playing with his children.
Now, that's the thing. Now you see that there have been two factions. The first faction yesterday went on the streets in Abuja. Why the ones who owns the oil? Why the ones who owns the oil in Niger Delta have their own protest? Now, what it tells you is that the powers that are fighting Ojulari is coming down from Abuja. That's exactly what it means. These are powers there whom maybe their illegal source of livelihood has been tampered with. So they really need to stand up to fight this man.
Yes.
In every, this is a fight. They've used a woman who is not in NNPC, that forged every staged that he resigned, that he was forced through EFCC.
Yeah.
EFCC came on board to deny, debunk
we even talked
those
about
claims
it here.
that there was no time they had something of such happen. In a way, you will believe, because there are what we call, fellas say they are unknown soldiers. People can dress like EFCC and go and abduct somebody. You can see all those things happening. Now, so what we're saying in essence is this. Like I said yesterday, and I'll still repeat, This is where the House of Representative and Senate comes in play. There ought to be a public hearing. Invite the warring factions, the people who are laying these allegations against Balo Julari. Let them come on board, face to face. Let it be a public hearing. Sit down. Bring your allegations to the table. Let Nigerians hear it. And let the right action and disciplinary actions be taken. If Balo Julari is found wanted, but I bet you part of all these things is the same power that fought Betty, who was the Minister of Humanitarian. I can tell you they are all at play. Because this man has been in NNPC almost 20 years of his life. And we didn't hear any issues about him. Nothing. So just few months that he was just given power. Everybody now started saying he ate 20 trillion. He ate he did this, he did. So these are the issues. So let the House of Representatives and the House of Senate, let them refer this to the ethics and whatever they call themselves. The people in charge of petroleum. Let there be a public hearing. So let these people present both the account statement and everything. They are hiding. They should just let them bring it so that the man will now
It should defend himself as well. All right, coming to you, Mr. Oladimiji, just to wrap it up on this same story. You know, they also mentioned the faction that counter-protested yesterday also mentioned the fact that Ojulari's publishing of financial reports, monthly publishing of financial reports, was remarkable for them. Now, do you think that with that act that it has improved accountability for his leadership as the GMD for NNPC? And with that, on that basis, do you think that this is somebody from the allegations that has been labeled against him, the money laundering allegations, it can be easily tracked from the monthly reports that he has been given to ascertain if truly the money laundering happened?
Sharon.
Yes, sir.
First of all, let me quickly speak to what the recommendation that Comrade Sacramento gives. Comrade, please, let us not take this to the desk of the ethics committee. Because even the person heading that ethics committee has got the legal case hanging over his head. And we know how he's dealing with Natasha. Let's go.
No, there's a chairman committee on petroleum.
They're so lucky. They're so lucky to have Nigerians to rule over.
Oh.
You know why?
Why?
They are so lucky because Nigerians, imagine Niger Delta youth jubilating over the publication of the report. All right? I don't know what that means, but that is not my issue. I'm always careful not to dabble into a family matter. The case of the father's goat and the father's yam. Right? Let us not forget that the Minister for Petroleum is still the President of the Federal Republic. And whatever is going on in that stream, either onshore or offshore, is in his know. He knows about it. So, the story of the woman that was told, trying to fix personnel, in the ministry is absurd. What powers does she hold? We have to begin to ask this question, and when we ask, it can only point to the fact that she's somehow willing the authority from the powers behind her that are unseen.
Unseen powers.
Yes. As far as Ojulari has been there, I don't care how long he's been there, because I know that the corruption that has been going on in the NNPC LTD did not start yesterday, did not start under Buhari, did not start. In fact, it's been there since forever. All right? So Ojulari is also one of them. What is going on currently, let me just categorically speak as I wrap it up, is the war for power and control in that ministry. That's all.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Oladimiji. We are just going to wrap it up on this particular story as we briefly move on to the next one. Now, the constitution review was held in Southeast in Owerri specifically. They had a public hearing in Owerri where a lot of people, the lawmakers, were given the opportunity to bring their reforms that they wish to see in the constitution. And the speaker also made mention of the fact that he's looking forward to seeing how they can include the youths and women, especially into governance, also the traditional rulers, giving them a position of leadership officially in the constitution. But what did you make of that, sir? The new reforms, the constitution that's amending the 1999 constitution.
Sharon. Well, the part of what I read that the public hearing the National Assembly is doing in Southeast, well, I don't think they really know our mind. But also the same, we will say kudos to them because, but the things they are looking at, I don't think is the major issues on ground in Southeast. I was thinking they would have come. We're talking about marginalization. We're talking about Kanu, which has really caused a lot of harm in our society, in the region. The 1999 constitution is good. Talk about all-inclusiveness of bringing the youth and the women. You know, they keep talking about the youth and the women. The men that are the one gingering the youth. You know, there are a lot of things we need to look into holistically. This is not something that should be held only in one particular place. I'm thinking it has to be a kind of bringing all major stake actors on board. Let's know how to solve the problem in Southeast.
Yes.
The governors, the traditional rulers, the Ohanes and Igbo, which is the apex body of the whole Igbo people.
Yes.
You get the youths, hear from them. What is the major issues? Every time we pick up one section in the 1999 constitution just to amend it, and the remaining ones okay? So what they need to do is this is I'm not condemning it, but this is not the nitty-gritty of the issue.
So you're saying it's marginalization.
This is what came on board everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
Look into which aspects are we being marginalized if you still want the unity of the nation. Look at the angle where we're looking at.
Yes.
If it is all about, okay, look at the level of appointments that is being done by the president, you will see marginalization in play. People will say, he has to pick the best brain. He has to. The best brain is, in other regions.
Exactly.
So these are the things.
Yes.
So we need to tell ourselves the gospel truth.
Yes.
Only if it is about appointment. Although they touched about it there. They talked about appointment, bringing in the youth, bringing in the women into what we are doing. Come on. We have best brain. Just last weekend, the American formed a committee where 5 Igbos were brought into a committee on research of a particular thing that America needs. It shows you the level of what we are talking about.
Yes.
So bring everybody together, all inclusiveness.
There's
that
no
is
how
what
you
we are
will not
saying.
see the brain in another region.
That's what we are saying. So you bring everybody and let's make a headway.
All right.
Look at the angle where we are talking, we are being marginalized.
Yes.
Sort it out.
So
It's as simple as that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Daniel.
My take on this, and what I want to say is, kukuruku chefoda. Yes, now they've realized that it is time to include the Southeast it is time to decentralize power. They have realized that it is time to create new states. I'm still coming to that new state. Yes, they talked about creation of new states. I'm still coming to that. But they've realized that power should be rotated.
As it should be.
They have realized that the local government is the third tier. They have realized that traditional rulers should be included in government. I mean, they should be given roles. Ah, wonderful. Congratulations to you. But what I'm asking now is, what is the sustainability plan? How are they going to implement this thing? These people are busy traveling around all the countries in the world, making headlines every single time, and it will end there. What's the follow-through plan? I really want to get that. And then coming to say that they want to create new states. You're creating new states. Are you aware that a lot of things comes with the creation of new states?
Yes.
The infrastructures, are you going to put them in place?
That they created,
the payments of salaries. The country is almost going into bankruptcy, and you want to create states. These smart ladies, they don't think, they don't reason. At this point, they don't reason. You just want to be moving around, gallivanting around, making people feel like they are trying to, do something. They are working, but at the end of the day, these people are not doing anything. So if they say that this plan, that is their next reform, or this is what they want to enforce, let it be implemented. Let us see follow through publicly. That's
all right. Thank you, Informant. Coming to you, Mr. Oladimeji. Just to wrap it up on this story, what are your thoughts? The constitution review that was held in Southeast Owerri, to be precise, and the things that they mentioned that they're looking into, which is involving traditional rulers into government constitutionally, involving women, youth as well, and this creation of new states. What are your thoughts generally? In 2 minutes, please.
Let us remember that this is not the first constitutional review that we have.
Yeah.
We had about two in the past. In fact, we had one that Remy, the current First Lady of the Federal Republic, was part of the leadership, and you have to lock the door against some people from coming inside the room where the review was. I'm picturing it in my head. We had a series of reviews. But what can these isolated reviews do for Nigeria?
Exactly.
What is the essence? I mean, what is the brain? What is the mentality behind the thought of creating new states? When the states that you have, for example, in the north, some of the local governments in Borno have been taken over by the bandits and the Boko Haram. You have not sorted these problems. You have not, place Nigeria on a stable footing where, growth is in sight, development is in sight, where insecurity is being stepped, and where food growth is visible, where the foreign direct investment is coming in, and where the HDI is growing, our health center everywhere building. But what are we having? We are having political permutation that has led to this isolated review. Look, let us not be disillusioned or be deceived. All of the steps that these politicians in power, who are not ready for governance, think is just, to hedge themselves above their political rivals.
Yeah.
It is not for the interest of the people in any way, shape, or form. It is for political interest.
Yeah.
What is the brain behind all of this when the country is still in chaos? When we are experiencing cost-push inflation? When every day we come on board and there is an increase in the price. Let me tell you, if you have not heard, from the 1st of January 2026, we're going to wake up to ripple of increase in the price of almost everything because of the 5% increase in the VAT on oil.
Yes.
So what are we saying? Is this the time for this isolated review? Isolated review that does not, arrest the situation. In fact, where is it Orosowo's constant report that takes care of all of this? He's still there in the office of the presidency, wasting away a very voluminous report that covers the issues of our constitution, covers the issues of our marginalization and what have you.
Yes.
But they will not treat it is genuine, it is with a political will to do, and it does not cater for political bias or what have you. This is why that document will not have attention till this time, and they will go about politicizing everything,
wasting money.
Exactly.
Transportation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oladimeji Oluwafemi. It was really an insightful conversation, and we appreciate your contribution. Thank you again to Ifeoma Oji. You are not even smiling.
I'm not smiling. I'm not smiling.
It's not funny at all.
They don't know what priority means. They don't prioritize things.
Yes. Yeah.
They are important things that we should be talking about. You already know what the Southeast wants or the South wants. Why not give them what they want? They are creating states.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel Sacramento, for joining us. And to our VIP viewers, remember that the comment section is yours. Share your thoughts, your opinions, ideas in the comment section. We'll be reading all of them as much as possible. Also, if you've not followed us across all social media platforms, endeavor to do so. You can find us at Active Citizens. And you can also find me on my personal Instagram and Facebook page at Sharon Enemchukwu and you, Ifeoma.
You can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Misselex.
Mr. Oladimeji.
You can always find me on X, Oladimeji, and of course I'm always in the studio.
Of course. You are your friend, Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel is always in the studio. All right, till we see you this afternoon for Asi Day Hot. Do have a good morning.